And what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of that Respect the Combat podcast, episode 192. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Das Berjulden himself, Mr. Eric Goldstein. And as always, I am not here alone, as I am joined by my co-hostess with the mostest, Mr. Irving Ortiz. How are you doing today, Grandpa?
It's been a crazy week, and I got a crazy month ahead of me, but I'm here.
Yeah, it kind of seems like that's how a lot of us are nowadays. But as you all know, we are not alone, as this week we have a very special guest. He is one half of the Stepdads. He is currently one half of the UWC Tag Team Champions. He is your current three-time GTS Legendary YouTube Heavyweight Champion and your current GBYWN World Champion, Rad Dad, everybody's favorite stepdad, Radley Belmont. How are you doing today, sir?
I am doing absolutely fantastic, and I hope the Respect the Combat universe, or whatever you call them, is having a fantastic time as well. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, as well as yours truly, and I'm very honored to be on this. It took 192 episodes to get here, but hopefully it's worth it.
Yes, and thank you so much for taking the time to hop on here. It really does mean a lot. Sincerely, it does. And with all of that being said, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, goats of all ages, are you ready to hop into these mainstreams?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
With that being said, I just got to open up this podcast with Animo! Because Rey Fenix has officially debuted for the WWE, and it is official. He will officially be a part of the SmackDown roster. Is it obvious I'm excited?
I'm excited too, to be honest.
I mean, per se, without going into too much detail, because obviously, Irving, we can't go into too much detail.
Oh, but wait. We can go into detail. That's the thing. That's what we're about.
Well, we could go into a little bit of detail without going into too much detail, because then it might get a certain somebody in trouble, if you know what I'm saying.
No, we're not talking about those details. We're talking about details from, that other company.
Oh, you mean with what AEW's fucked up with? Okay,
yes.
So this is what we're going to talk about real quick. So it makes me happy knowing that Rey Fenix has finally gotten out of All Elite Wrestling and he's over in WWE now. Because one, this is what he's been trying to do for the last few months. And I'm not going to go into exact numbers, but there may or may not been some back pay that was owed to Mr. Rey Fenix. And I'm coming to find out off of research that I've done that there are quite a few wrestlers in All Elite Wrestling that are owed back pay. And it genuinely is making me question how much profit they're actually bringing in. Now, mind you, I try my hardest to be mutual. I'm seriously not trying to hate all that much on AEW. I was actually one of their biggest supporters. We all were one of their biggest supporters when they first started. It's just lately, I hate to say this, and Radley, I'm sorry because I know you watch AEW regularly, but lately the booking kind of just seems like, Tony's going in his office with a big mountain of cocaine, taking down half of it, and then like, all right, let's book the show.
Yeah, listen, I was really excited for another alternate company to start up, and the fact that AEW came around, I was really stoked. I went to the Fight for the Fallen show in Jacksonville. I drove literally about 3 hours from Orlando to Jacksonville just to go to that show, and it was a great show. It was great. It was packed. I mean, the crowd was phenomenal and everything, and then I went to a couple other AEW shows. I went to Revolution in Orlando. I went to the December Christmas Dynamite that happened in I think it was 2023, I believe it was, and it was great. Everything was good, especially the MJF feud with Adam Cole. But then all of a sudden after that, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of us as fans really are just kind of curious as to what exactly happened there. I mean, Radley, do you have anything to say on this?
I mean, as far as figuring out exactly what happened, we probably know a lot, but there's way more that we're going to learn in 5, 10, 15 years, just like the things we've learned about Vince Russo and other people, 15 years after the fact. That'll all come in time. I think the biggest takeaway from all of this is the fact that do you guys remember when Rey Fenix took the choke slam through the table and broke his arm? And You remember that? Like, I was there in the building for that. Like, I've seen this man do incredible stuff, get destroyed in the ring, and still come back. And in my opinion, he still continues to be one of the best luchadors on the planet, bar none. That's my personal opinion. I think he's phenomenal. I do think he deserved more in AEW. Obviously, I can't speak on it financially, but I love when a professional wrestler gets to be where he wants to be, doing the craft the way he wants to do it. And it sounds, at least from far away, that Rey Fenix is about to do that. He's going to take a step that he's been waiting for a long time, and he's going to make a lot of money, and he's going to have a great time. And I couldn't look forward more to what Rey Fenix can bring to the table in WWE. No matter what roster he's on, no matter what show he's on, Rey Fenix doing crazy stuff to stay into the Royal Rumble. Rey Fenix in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Rey Fenix in crazy situations against wrestlers like CM Punk and Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. And maybe one day running into his brother.
Yes.
That's very exciting. Very exciting stuff for Rey Fenix fans right now.
Yes, very much so. Not going to lie, you mentioning him being in a Money in the Bank match kind of makes my body moist. Not even going to lie, just because, I mean, him and his brother, like, they have massive experience in ladder matches. And the crazy things I've watched that man do on ladders, I can only imagine what he would do in a Money in the Bank ladder match.
I mean, not only in ladder matches, but I mean, if you go back to Lucha Underground, he had some pretty crazy matches in there as well.
Just about everybody in Lucha Underground had crazy matches. I'm surprised half that roster didn't die.
I agree.
I would say anybody who hasn't seen Lucha Underground, go back, find the matches on YouTube. Incredible matches. Lucha Underground was one of my favorite promotions while it was running. Amazing stuff.
Same.
I think that's something we all can agree on, is that Lucha Underground was just one of those underrated promotions. 100%.
And the best thing about Lucha Underground was that it was not a throughout the year show like WWE or AEW is right now. You know, this was like a season type of show. So like they would leave you with a cliffhanger, and you have to wait until the next season starts, which was perfect, you know, because you never knew what was going to happen the following season.
Yes. No, I actually loved how they used to do that. But somebody else who is heading back to WWE. Rusev Day.
For the love of God, don't do that again.
And this is why I run a multimedia advertising company and I'm not a full-time singer. But yes, it has been confirmed. I confirmed it with my source, the Keebler Elf, and I gave him some good sugar for it. And no, that's not a reference for something else, I promise. But Rusev has signed a contract with WWE. Rusev is heading back to WWE. When he will be returning to WWE has yet to be confirmed, but I'm happy.
Listen, that man deserves another chance in WWE, you know, because, I mean, during the Vince era, he wasn't being utilized as the beast that he is, you know, and the fact that Triple H is giving him that opportunity to redeem himself, I think we could see a future world champion out of Rusev.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Radley, you got anything on this?
I have one thing to say. Rusev versus Gunther.
Oh!
That would be an epic match.
Oh, my God.
That's a SummerSlam main event. That's a WrestleMania main event, if you ask me.
Yes.
That would be, yes, Gunther versus Rusev for the World Heavyweight title. Oh, my God. I'm damn near salivating over that. Now, something that made a lot of fans unhappy this week, and I'm sure Irving will have something to say about it, Stephanie Vakir has officially vacated the NXT Women's North American title, and a new champion will be crowned in a 6-way ladder match at Stand and Deliver.
So, my opinion on this is, I mean, I can't be mad about it because she is the women's champion for NXT. So I could see as to why they had her relinquish the title. And this is just my opinion. I don't know. You know, I'm not a producer. This is just my thought. I think the reason why is because they didn't want Stephanie to lose the championship to somebody, especially when she is the women's champion, which I can understand that. You know, so, and that would kind of like make her look weak in a way. But you know, that I think it was a good move for her to still look strong, just to relinquish the title and crown a new champion in a ladder match.
Agreed. It is a way to not make her look weak because then she's not getting pinned by somebody else. Now, unfortunately, somebody this week who did look weak, Jimmy Uso, he's having a terrible week this week. You want to know why he's having a terrible week this week? Well, that's because he kind of died on Monday. Good thing that's on Netflix now. But yeah, Jimmy Uso had a match this past Monday against Gunther where he lost. And then after the match, Gunther proceeded to jump Jay and Jimmy Uso and then zip tie Jay Uso to the ring rope while he basically left Jimmy a bloody mess. Honestly, in my opinion, I know this is probably going to sound wrong, but I'm intrigued with this match now. It's been a few weeks. I haven't really been all that intrigued the last few weeks. Now I am intrigued.
This is going to lead to a great match at WrestleMania, to be honest. Because to be honest, I'm excited for Jay. I'm excited, but let's face it. The last few weeks, the storyline I feel like the storyline was kind of dying. But then after seeing what happened this past Monday, I think this rivalry is going to be epic when it comes to WrestleMania, and it could possibly be that Jey Uso wins it. So we'll have to wait and see.
Oh yeah. Any thoughts on this, Radley?
So I'm right there with you guys. I think we had this match on Saturday night's main event already. No matter what you think about the match, it already happened. So for it to be another WrestleMania rematch, essentially, there's not a lot of spark there. There's not a lot of fire there. And they've tried as much as they can to make that spark happen because Gunther's a killer. He's supposed to look like, the next big Godzilla looking guy, and Jey Uso's already lost. So what do you do? How do you change it? How do you make the crowd get behind a guy who's already lost once, even if he did win the Royal Rumble? This changes everything. In the eyes of the fans, he's not just fighting for himself or the fans. Now he's fighting for his brother. And isn't that what the Usos are all about? It's about two brothers fighting for themselves, for their bloodline. It culminates not just this storyline, but the entire run both of the Usos had. In my thoughts, it's kind of the same way Kofi Kingston won the championship, but you kind of felt like the New Day won the WWE championship that night. I hope that it kind of comes off that way. If Jey Uso does win the title, it feels like the Usos won the championship that night.
Right. No, and honestly, I have to completely agree with your thought process there, just because, that's kind of the whole Usos mentality is that, they're representing their bloodline, they're fighting for their bloodline, they're fighting for their family, for themselves. And at the end of the day, this now gives a purpose to the match. And it actually gives, like you said, a reason for the fans to get behind him. And I think this is only going to help elevate the match more, as well as help elevate the storyline as a whole, in my personal opinion.
I would also say that I don't know if it's going to happen. I would hope that maybe this becomes a no DQ match. And there might be a couple of run-ins. That would help as well. But I can also see just Jay being good enough to win the title working as well.
Yes, 100%. Now, something that completely shocked me last night, Ricky Saints defeated Shawn Spears to become the new NXT North American Champion. Now, correct me if I am wrong, but he is one of a few people that successfully won a title on their first time out. Am I wrong here?
The first person I think of is Carlito winning the United States title his first night on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Right. So this is something that's very rare to happen nowadays. So the fact that it did happen, honestly, first off, congratulations to Ricky Saints. It's very well deserved. I don't care what anyone says, being like, yeah, he hadn't even been on NXT for even a month. Yeah, and how many fucking titles did that guy got under his belt? So all I have to say to you fuckers is...
And the thing about it is, they can't be mad at the fact that he won it at NXT, because they did almost the same thing with Ethan Page. He debuted, got a title match against Trick Williams, and won the title at the PLE. So it's pretty much almost the same thing, but only thing about it wasn't a PLE. So,
but this also gives more because I can only imagine now that they're probably going to end up doing an NXT North American Championship match at Stand and Deliver. So
Yeah.
this only gives more draw to the card.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Absolutely. Personally, I could see Sean Spears winning it back at Stand and Deliver.
I could too. Although I hope it doesn't turn into one of those situations where they're hot potato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also over in Australia, Nick Nemeth has become your new internet wait. Never mind. He was your new internet champion, and then Matt Cardona beat him the next night to win it back, as well as win the World Series Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship.
Wait. So,
And apparently now Matt Cardona has a faction down under.
wait. So Matt Cardona won 2 titles in one night?
Yep. He won his title back plus the company's world title.
Oh, Nick Nemeth. Oh, poor Nick Nemeth.
Nick Nemeth is getting buried right now. Jesus. His 2025 is definitely not looking as good as his 2024 was.
Yep. And where's JBL?
Radley,
and where's JBL to help him?
You know what?
Well,
I will say Matt Cardona has the one belt I care about most. He is unofficially the ECW World Television Champion. I don't think he's going to lose that anytime soon.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that he has that belt.
That was so weird, I don't think I'll ever forget it.
Well, hey, why don't you call him out?
Hey, if he wants to go, let's do it. Let's see who the real king of the internet is.
I mean, as of right now, I would say it's, the person who's not 1, not 2, but 3-time YouTube legendary heavyweight champion. How many times has Matt Cardona held that belt? Oh, yeah, that's right. 0. Mm-hmm. Sorry, now I'm just going into my mark mates.
I think of it this way. I know Matt Cardona once lost a match in Pennsylvania to a guy named Leo Sweet, and I have defeated Leo Sweet. Thus, I've defeated Matt Cardona. That's how I look at it.
See? All right, so you already got a win over Matt Cardona. So it looks like Matt Cardona has a lot more to prove here than Radley Belmont does. Now, something that I'm still... I don't know. I'm sure you guys will probably have your opinions on this as well. Goldberg has officially begun training for his retirement match. Now, I understand he's already signed a contract for this retirement match, the whole 9. It's happening this year, blah, 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 blah. I feel like that match he had with Undertaker should have been it. Because that was just terrible. Like, I just feel like he's way past his prime. I'm not trying to be rude. I feel like Goldberg could probably still kick my ass. But he's a lot more up there in age. And I don't know. What do you think, Irving?
If he has a retirement match, I would like him to spear the fuck out of Matt Riddle.
You really think WWE will bring Matt Riddle back for one spot just to get speared?
Oh, I'm not saying it has to be in WWE. It can happen anywhere.
Radley,
I just want to see Matt Riddle get hurt because I can't stand Matt Riddle.
I can't wait for Goldberg's retirement match in New Japan against Tetsuya Naito or something. No, I grew up a Goldberg fan. I was a little Goldberg fan in the 90s. I was a WCW guy. Goldberg was a hero of mine when I was a kid. But obviously he is well past his prime, and he knows that. This, to me, is just a way of celebrating Goldberg for his fan base, because there's still money to be made. We all saw Ric Flair's last match. If we didn't see it, we heard about it. It was inescapable. Everyone knows about it, and they made a lot of money off of it. And what's wrestling all about? Putting butts in seats, as Tony Schiavone said. This is all about putting butts in seats. And it's probably going to be WWE seats.
Well, the thing about
I definitely agree with that statement.
The whole Ric Flair match or whatnot, I think the whole reason why they did that is because Ric Flair just needed money. And to be honest, I can understand that, but that man is what, 80-something years old now? I don't even know anymore. That man was so out of shape during that match. He could barely stand, and at least Goldberg, being at his age, yeah, he's working out, he's training and everything. At least he'll be able to put somewhat of a decent match, way better than Ric Flair did. Because, Ric Flair had to, sit in the corner for a while his tag team partner, Andrade, was, picking up his slack. So, am I looking forward to seeing a Goldberg retirement match? I could really care less. But if it's what he wants to do, then, best of luck to him.
How about Goldberg versus Ryback? Finally have that.
Oh, fuck Ryback. Oh, I can't stand that guy, too. That guy talks so much shit. I literally had to block him on all social medias because I can't stand him.
Wait,
Sounds
what?
like you'd like to see Goldberg destroy him.
I mean, if he breaks his legs, then I'll be happy.
There we go.
See, you're kind of Irving. No offense, you're kind of proving Radley's point, though.
Mm-hmm.
But something that did make a lot of us happy this week: Tyler Bate officially is back in the WWE, and the New Catch Republic have reunited. Although I'm kind of upset that they came back in a losing effort to the New Day. Like, how are you gonna have them, make their day? How are you gonna have them returning, and then in their return they lose?
That I don't get, because Pete Dunne was supposed to be a heel, and now they have him reunite with Tyler Bates as baby faces to go against the New Day, and just to have him lose. Personally, what I would have done is find some random local independent tag team that can be buried by the New Day, and have Tyler and Pete come back together as heels and beat the fuck out of a babyface tag team and maybe go after the tag team titles.
Exactly. No, that would actually make a lot more sense. Radley, what would you think about this?
You know what? I couldn't agree more. They should find a random local tag team of losers. In fact, I can think of one. They're called the Stepdads, Radley Belmont and Wade Kruger. No, I'm kidding. But I love me some Tyler Bate. I was on the edge of my seat during the UK title tournament. He's the man. And I'm thrilled that he's back in the company. He's gonna make some money. He's gonna show off again. What's going on with them losing to the New Day? I don't know. I guess that's one of those we'll wait and see things. But
Oh yeah.
Tyler Bate being on my screen makes me want to watch that screen, and that's a plus for WWE right now.
Oh yeah, no, Tyler Bate is an amazing talent to have, honestly. And then AEW actually got a pretty big signing this week as they officially signed Kevin Knight to an AEW contract, which personally I have to admit that's actually a pretty nice pickup. Are you guys aware with Kevin Knight's work at all, or not really?
Nope, not me.
I saw Kevin Knight's match, I believe it was on Collision last week, and I liked what I saw. I think there's definitely room to improve, but I like what I saw, and I think he does have a lot of potential to do some big stuff. Maybe the position he was in, maybe he can show a lot more personality in different matches and situations, but he's the exact kind of guy that AEW would want. Young, athletic, and if he can cut some promos on the mic, if he can, really get the crowd involved, he's exactly the kind of guy AEW would want.
Yeah, 100%. And then just to give a little bit more of a background on him, I followed him a little bit on the independents. He's mostly been working in New Japan recently. He's been tag teaming with Kushida as the Jet Setters. And I'm not sure if it's 2-time or 3-time, but I believe they are 3-time IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions.
I feel like Kushida's had every junior belt like 8 times at this point, and that's not a complaint. I just noticed that.
Oh yeah, no, he's held just about every junior title on the wrestling on the wrestling circuit, probably in every promotion. It wouldn't surprise me, because even in WWE, he held their cruiserweight championship.
I remember what was it? What Culture Pro Wrestling did, like Pro Wrestling Olympics or whatever it was called, and it was like all these tournaments from different countries, and Kushida won the whole thing. It was like a 72-man tournament or something like that.
Oh yeah, no, Kushida
that was incredible. Yeah.
Oh no, Kushida is an amazing talent, and honestly, now if Kevin Knight is over at AEW, if he starts doing pretty well over there, I will not be surprised if I see Kushida follow him.
That would be cool.
It would be, definitely. Now, something that kind of has me intrigued here, and I know this is a bit of a spoiler, but I'm pretty sure it'll be on TNA TV this week. If not, sue me. Santino Marella has announced that TNA will be retiring the TNA Digital Media title, and replacing it will be the TNA International title, and the inaugural champion will be crowned at Unbreakable in Las Vegas. How do you guys feel about this decision?
So is the TNA International title a new title?
Yes.
That's going to be interesting.
Hopefully it doesn't look like the AEW International title, otherwise I'm going to be like, hey, wait a minute!
That would actually be really funny.
It would be.
I
Wait,
feel like, as somebody who's watched TNA literally since the beginning, but not recently, I feel like they've always had a problem with their secondary championships, like the Legends title and all these different versions of this title. They had the King of the Mountain championship at one point. Like, they never really know what to do with this secondary title. And in these scenario where it's like we have the digital media title, it's like, okay, this is pretty cool. It's like an intergender kind of deal. All right, I'm digging the idea. And then they've abandoned that as well. Now we have the international title. Will there be a gimmick behind it? I mean, the TNA Global title was only defended outside the country, which was weird because they barely traveled outside the country, so it was almost never defended. Very strange decisions over the years. I would love for this to have a lot of meaning. I would love for their first champion to be a big deal and for them to really run with that first champion for a while. Really establish that this is the title that they care about. It's not just something we're throwing on guys to do something with those guys. Like, it has to have a meaning behind it.
oh yeah, no, 100%. I completely agree. Now, here's the one thing that genuinely confuses me, and I have made the same comment in regard to AEW. Why do you have a title that is called the international title when you already have a world title?
It's a problem I've had in my mind forever and a half.
Like, that's just okay. So that's not just me. Like, that just
No.
doesn't logically make sense.
That's a very old school thing. International meant like the world title outside the country. A lot of international titles were in Japan or in Canada for a long time. Like, a world title is the world title. You're the world champion. The title's being toured around the world. International is kind of like, sometimes we go to London, and that's about it. Like, I'm not a big fan of a global title, an international title. Even the Intercontinental title, as awesome as it is, I feel like the name is weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, like, honestly, I feel like it should just be called what it is and just call them TV titles.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, TV time limit. If the TV time limit's 10 minutes and the world champion wrestles a 60-minute, then it makes sense that you're the best guy that cannot be defeated within 10 minutes. Even the world heavyweight champion can't beat you within 10 minutes. But you can't beat the world heavyweight champion in that 60-minute limit. Like, that, they're even in a weird way, if that makes sense. Even though one is definitely above the other. You're still the best of something. And personally, I like when championships represent you are the best of that thing. X Division champion, tag team champion. These make sense to me. You're the best of that style. You're the best of those rule set, hardcore champion. I can go on. When you're the international champion, like, okay, you're like the best in like America and France. Like, what exactly does that mean that differentiates it from the world championship? And we may never know, or they have some brilliant plan. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, hopefully there's some type of brilliant plan because there's gonna have to be something to make it enticing. Now, someone who seems to be enticing the higher ups in TNA is JC Jane, and it has already been reported that Fatal Influence are scheduled to make an appearance at an upcoming TNA pay-per-view. Do you think they will appear at Unbreakable?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, because you want the views, you want the impressions. If you debut them there, suddenly it's, oh, you gotta check out every big show we have because this is the kind of stuff that happens.
exactly. No, and that makes that really does make complete sense. And then a little bit more on the lighter side of the mainstreams, Lex Luger has revealed he is once again a married man. He was married last Friday night on the back patio of his home. He said it was a very small ceremony, didn't really have anything big. They just, they have been together for the last couple of years and, they wanted to get eloped.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. I am a huge Lex Luger fan. Have been. Like I said, I'm a diehard WCW guy growing up. Lex Luger is the man to me. I personally, I wear white boots with white soles. I call them the Lex Luger 97s because they're the white boots that he wore. They're the exact design of the white boots he wore when he beat Hollywood Hogan, for the WCW World Title at Nitro 100. So that's why I wear white on white for Lex Luger.
Nice. No, that's actually good to know. Very good to know.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like Lex Luger's having an amazing year, seeing he just got married, and in a couple of weeks he'll officially be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I'm actually happy for Lex. Even though a lot of people are like, oh, why is he in it? Is he in the Hall of Fame? He killed Miss Elizabeth. Let's talk facts here. He did not kill Elizabeth. Elizabeth was a grown woman that decided to partake in the activities that Lex Luger was doing. So, and not only that, Lex Luger took accountability for it. He did face charges. So, and he does live with that for the rest of his life. He still thinks about that. So, it's not like he left her there to die. He was there the whole entire time. So, Lex Luger has been through a lot in his life, and I think, this is a second chance at life for him. And the fact that, he's being recognized as a great person that he is. Don't worry about the past mistakes that he made. He was a great wrestler. He's a great person. And to be honest, he deserves a second chance at life.
Couldn't agree more.
Same here. Couldn't agree more on that. Now, something I did actually find interesting to read this week. AEW is currently averaging 500,000 streams per episode of AEW Dynamite on HBO Max. Now, if you take those numbers and combine it with the numbers that they've been getting through TBS and TNT, that's on average between 1 million to 1.2 million viewers per episode. That's actually not all that bad of numbers. If you look at the long game. Am I wrong?
Could be better.
Yeah, whatever you say, Grandpa. Radley, what do you think?
I mean, they're proving that they're the number 2 wrestling company in the country right now. That's already a huge statement. I look at these type of things and I always think there's tons of people that find clips online. They find alternate routes to watch these shows. Like, there's so many people watching just pro wrestling in general right now. It feels, and it just might be, we might discover that more people are watching pro wrestling now than ever. So it makes a lot of sense to me that a lot of people are watching AEW, just like a lot of people watching WWE. I think there's more people watching these companies than we can ever really measure because of so much social media and so much video content out there, so many ways to watch this. You can't clock it all anymore. I think that the number's probably even higher than this. And people are watching, and whether the problem is that they're not talking positively about it right now. But in the eyes of HBO Max, in the eyes of Tony Khan, the fact that they have these numbers right now, that's what matters most, because that equals money, that equals ad revenue, and that equals bigger and better things for this company, and right now for all of pro wrestling.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And I can't disagree with that whatsoever. There really has been an increase in the interest in professional wrestling over the last couple of years, and I can't deny that AEW has played a big part in helping with gain that interest. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have subscriptions to Netflix, I got subscriptions to HBO Max. You want to know why? Because tax write-offs, and I love it. But at the end of the day, it really has opened up more avenues for the wrestling fan to be able to watch shows. I mean, even think about Triller TV Plus. Think about IWTV. There are even so many different independent promotions now that you could watch online. It's not even funny. Am I wrong?
Not to mention all the promotions that just exclusively post their content on YouTube. Hint, hint.
Exactly. Yes. Hint, hint, GTS. And even just posting on YouTube, if you get a certain amount of views every single month, that's still bringing in monetary means. So overall, it's become a lot easier for the average wrestling fan to be able to watch the product.
That's good for everyone involved. Absolutely everyone, top to bottom, and the fans.
100%, completely agree. And then back in 2022, Paige stated this week during a podcast interview that she questioned after her first match back if returning to wrestling was the right decision. Reason why was because, in her words, she realized her body wasn't a huge callus anymore, and she wasn't able to take the bumps as well as she used to. Now, Radley, seeing
Mm.
that this is something you've been doing for almost a decade, would you please explain to the fine Respect the Combat universe of just how comfortable those big 2x4s underneath the ring are on your back?
Oh, let's not even get into just the mat and the ring. My first training was in 2009. And when I
Oh,
hit the ropes, just running the ropes on my first day, I got home and it looked like I had been whipped, like a Roman warrior was whipping me as I was like moving bricks and moving giant boulders and stuff. My back looked terrible, and that's just from running ropes. You want to talk about taking a bump on the ground? They say that every time a wrestler hits the mat, it is the equivalent of being in a 30-mile-an-hour car accident. And I absolutely agree that. I believe that is fact because I am somebody who's been in multiple car accidents. I rolled my truck, my Ford Ranger, 4 times off the highway, and to me, it just kind of felt like taking a bump. Uh, your body is not meant to be wrestling. No human body, unless you're Brock Lesnar and you're not of this world, should no pro wrestler should actually be doing pro wrestling. The body's not meant for it. You have to make your body adapt. Luckily, as human beings, and we are able to adapt our bodies to fit the environments around us, but it's almost inhuman the fact that we have to bump hundreds and thousands of times in order to gain those calluses, and in order to hit those ropes and feel nothing and be able to perfect something like a top rope elbow drop. In every little thing, a top rope elbow drop, you're not just landing your elbow, your whole body, your hip is hitting the ring, your hip is hitting wood. And I would have giant purple like marks, like half a foot long, just purple all up and down my hip from doing a top rope elbow drop. That's
oh
just
my
a part of the
God.
training. Now you look at someone like Paige. She started training when she was a child, so her body hadn't even like fully grown yet, and she was already taking what I believe would be an inhuman thing to do: destroy your body and on this wood. And in doing that, she was able to build her body up with these calluses, with hardening her skin, that kind of stuff. Uh, Once you leave wrestling for a while, and I've done it a few times. I left wrestling for about 16 months at one point. You get back in, and it feels like you're almost having to relearn everything in a way. Your body goes, well, we're done doing this, right? We're gonna just be normal and have soft skin again, right? And be fine. And my innards aren't gonna jumble all the time. Well, now we're back to that. I 100% understand where she's coming from. I'm sure it affected her match. I know a lot of people didn't like her first match against Britt Baker when she came back. Um, I think a lot of that might be because she wasn't ready. Her body wasn't ready. And the only way to be ready is to be in the ring. That's why a lot of guys nowadays, when they re-debut on WWE or AEW, you don't see it, but they've probably had 30 matches at the, House of Glory Training School or Monster Factory Pro Wrestling School or somewhere around there. CM Punk says he's wrestled hundreds of matches off camera while he was quote unquote retired. That sounds ridiculous, right? No, he was trying to keep his body in shape. I absolutely believe him when he says he's had hundreds of matches, nobody ever saw them or knew about them. Every pro wrestler wants to keep their bodies in shape in case they get that phone call, in case they get the confidence and the hope again to get a new contract and a new opportunity. And that's what Paige did. All the power to her. And I hope now she feels better about that decision. I don't know if there's
Oh yeah.
anything. I don't know if there's anything now that says, "Oh yeah, she regrets saying that," or she feels better now. But I sure hope she feels better now because I think at one point she was doing pretty good work at AEW, and she got to have that moment in the UK winning the championship. I'm sure she is very happy to have that moment with her family because I know I would. That was an amazing moment, and I'm very happy for her to have it.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And it was definitely a very heartfelt moment for her, I'm sure. And with all of that being said, that rounds up our mainstream highlights for today. Before we hop into our next topic, if you haven't already, make sure you're following us on all social media platforms. If you're on Instagram, Threads, YouTube, or TikTok at Respect the Combat. If you're on Facebook at RTC Pod. If you're on X at RTC Podcast 1, make sure you subscribe to our website at respectthecombat.com. Keep up with all the latest news, keep up with all the latest episodes. And if you subscribe today, you will get a 50% off coupon to Irving's new OnlyFans account for his feet. Stay tuned.
That's fake news. Fake news. I don't have an OnlyFans account. Fake news.
Yeah, you just keep telling yourself that. Anyway, we will now be previewing AEW Dynasty happening this weekend. Now, as of right now, there are only, I think, about 6 matches confirmed for the pay-per-view. But knowing how Tony Khan usually operates, he'll probably announce like another 6 or 7 before Sunday. Now, I mean, am I wrong with stating that? I feel like that's just kind of a thing he does now.
I just want to know when the Rizzler's wrestling. That's what I want to know.
Honestly, finding out, I'm almost curious to wonder if he would ever actually be put in a match, because I love that little kid. He is so funny.
Can we have the Rizzler wrestle -1 from the Dark Order?
I mean, -1 is under a contract, so technically it could happen.
Let's make it happen, Tony Khan. Come on.
Now, do you guys believe Swerve can go 2-0 at Dynasty and once again become the AEW World Champion? Me personally, I say, please, for the love of God, because this Death Rider storyline is becoming more bland than the chicken strips from Raising Cane's. I may or may not get sued for saying that, but I piss off a lot of people on a regular basis, which, by the way, speaking about pissing off people, fuck Dave Meltzer. I just had to get that out.
Duly noted. For me, as an AEW watcher and follower, I personally think the Death Rider storyline is easily the most uninspired world title run this company's ever had. It's sad to say, because I really do like Jon Moxley as a performer, but it feels like there's no grease on the wheels here. We're just kind of doing stuff. And
yeah,
I never like when you just see a world champion kind of going from match to match to match, and there's no momentum. There's no end game here. He's just here. Here's my briefcase, and that's kind of it right now. I personally would absolutely love Swerve to win the title back. I thought Swerve was a fantastic world champion. I thought he had a lot more gas in the tank. I understand why he lost when he did, but I think there's so many combinations of matches that Swerve can have as a champion that would be very exciting to me. I would love to see Swerve and Kyle Fletcher. I'd love to see Swerve and even somebody like our friend Knight here who just got signed. Let's see Swerve take him on in like a non-title match. I would love to see Swerve regain the title and really run with it this time without like just a long reign. I would like to see him have a long reign, is what I'm saying. Now, unfortunately, do I think that's going to happen? No. I think this is all a red herring. Swerve Strickland at Dynasty going for the championship again just sounds too good to be true in a world that constantly tries to swerve us. So, pun not intended. But I feel like Moxley's going to take it. I feel like Moxley's going to take it all the way to All In. I really do. And I will even lose it there. Don't know. But I think this Moxley reign of terror, if you want to think of it that way, will continue, unfortunately.
Yeah, boy. Well, also, I think one that's pretty obvious, I do think Kenny Omega is going to be going over in the triple threat for the international title. I believe it's pretty obvious now that the setup they're building up to here is that they're going to end up doing Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada to combine the international and continental championships.
I agree with you. That'll probably be the all-in match. Texas loves Okada, so I would not be surprised if that's where the big match happens. I guess everyone loves Kenny, so he'll get over everywhere. My question is, which title do they take away if they do unify the titles, or will someone just have both titles? Because I would guess if they took one away, it would be the international title because of the Continental Classic.
Yes, no, that would be my thought, is that they're going to take away the international title because of that.
The other thing is, I mean, we saw Eddie Kingston hold 3 belts at once, and nobody batted an eye at that. So will Kenny or Okada just have 2 belts for a while? With AEW, I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they'll just combine the names and call it the Intercontinental title. But
Don't give him ideas.
oh dear God, wait, he actually might listen to this. Tony, don't you fucking dare! I swear to God, if you do that, you just confirm that you're addicted to cocaine. But something else I'm hoping happens here. Do you think Rated FTR will be able to keep it together and capture the AEW Trios titles? Or is Dax going to end up turning heel?
Dax is going to turn. I already see it happening.
I think this is going to be if they actually turn Dax and Cash on each other, hands down, that is the worst decision ever.
I don't think I want to see a Dax versus Cash match. I don't know why. I feel like that should be a great match, but I don't think it will be. It's kind of like the Usos match. Like, oh, this will be great. It's like 2 of the same guy going at each other. But we saw how, that didn't work out so well. I feel like Dax versus Cash would not be great. But that being said, I do think Cope or whatever you want to call him versus Dax is great, and that'd be pretty good. But for a whole heel turn for one match like that, I don't know, man.
Yeah, no. And then in a no time limit match, Adam Cole will face off against Daniel Garcia for the TNT Championship. Now, my question here is that if Adam Cole doesn't win here, is it safe to say he's getting buried constantly to put other talent over?
If you put it that way, yeah. I think this whole thing is here for Daniel Garcia to get over. Yes.
Yeah, no, I could agree with that. Honestly, I just personally would like to see Adam Cole win some gold in AEW, but I'm not in charge of booking over there, unfortunately.
You know, it'd be awesome. Adam Cole beating Jon Moxley for the world title. Hey.
Honestly, I would be excited if Microman beat Jon Moxley for the world title at this point, because at least somebody else other than Jon Moxley has the world title, and I'll actually be able to see the damn thing.
I will have no one besmirch the name of Microman here or anywhere else, okay?
But overall, it should be a pretty fun show. Honestly, I'm not going to spend the money to watch it. I don't feel like spending $50 to watch an AEW pay-per-view. And that's not even a dig at AEW. Just, I don't want to spend $50 to watch a pay-per-view. That's expensive. That's when you get
to be on Max at some point or something. Like, I don't know how they do it now.
See, that's what I was wondering, because wasn't that like the whole thing when they signed this deal with Max was, oh yeah, the pay-per-views are going to be available on Max at a discounted rate. Like, I knew I wasn't crazy. But, anywho, moving on to our next topic, the reason why we were all here, Mr. Radley Belmont.
Ew.
We are hopping in to our exclusive one-on-one interview with you, my brother. Now, to start off this interview, just to make sure, I know you said you started training in 2009. Did your in-ring career start in 2016?
That is true. I trained in 2008 to 2009. I was a manager for a little while. Stopped wrestling altogether. Then I continued to do a little bit of backyard wrestling, which that was an interesting thing, because when you think of backyard wrestling, you think of, just wrestling with your friends somewhere in a park or something. But I was actually going everywhere from Las Vegas to Salt Lake City to Chicago, Illinois, traveling around, meeting some really awesome people. And a lot of them are now on TV and they're pros and things like that. So I get to say that, like, I used to talk to Will Ospreay, and I used to team with Sonny Kiss, and things like that, because of my backyard wrestling experience. After those days ended, I got practically thrown into a pro scenario in 2016. I originally wanted to just be a commentator, and they were like, "No, you should be in the ring." So they got me in the ring. And ever since January 10th, 2016 was my professional debut. I've been wrestling ever since, and as a part of the Stepdad since November of 2016, as Rad Dad Radley Belmont.
Oh, wow. So you guys have actually been together for a very long time.
Oh yes, yes. The first
Wow.
time I ever wrestled my partner was in 2011, and the first time we ever teamed up on the pros was yeah, like mid-November 2016. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Amazing information, which we'll get a little bit more into a deep dive about the stepdad legacy. But reason why I'm asking about the in-ring career is because looking through Cage Match and looking through fandom, I've learned that you've held multiple belts in multiple promotions, and currently you hold what is probably the most prestigious belt in online wrestling, the legendary YouTube heavyweight title. Now, how does it feel to not only be the current champion, but a three-time champion, and to be able to hold that belt that so many other great wrestlers have held?
That's my favorite thing about this title because no matter what you think about titles, some people say props, some people say it, it means more than anything else in the business. Wherever you are in the middle of it all, I think about the value of the history of the championship and the company it comes from. That's what it means to me. And GTS, no matter what you think about GTS, it has an incredible history. We're talking about everyone from MJF debuting in all of wrestling on GTS TV, from Thunder Rosa wrestling in the YouTube Championship tournament. So many people. Brian Myers was a former YouTube champion. Jimmy Rave wrestled for the YouTube title. We're talking about some great, great wrestlers, some people I highly respect. And I get to be a part of that lineage. And as wrestling companies come and go, obviously, like I said, I grew up watching WCW. WCW's gone now. But if you grew up or just followed these wrestlers and you enjoyed them and they gave you inspiration to become a wrestler, it means a lot to be a part of a lineage, to have a direct lineage of champions that now has your name next to theirs. That means a lot to me as a performer and as a fan of the sport. I am so happy that I get to represent GTS as the flag bearer. I'm currently, I want to say it's like 122 days, 123 days total under my combined reigns, which by the time we get to my next title defense, which will be at Grimomania in mid-April, I will be the longest reigning GTS Legendary YouTube champion in total days in all of the 2020s. That isn't Grim or Doohop. That's not the Hitchens. And obviously, I feel like there's a bias there. I mean, they are the Hitchens. They live for GTS wrestling. They've been there since the beginning. I never got handed anything. I had to work from the beginning. I didn't own the company or help run the company or anything like that. I started from the bottom. I didn't ask for anything, and I was very confident in myself because I already had at that point, geez, what is it, like 6 years of professional experience there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very proud of the fact that I did it my way. I might be the only YouTube champion in history to never drop an F-bomb on the show. I'm kind of proud of that. Kind of
Well,
proud of that.
you gotta make sure because the kids.
Exactly, exactly. You never know who's watching, and I want to be a good example to all the kids out there. And the crazy thing is, I do get messages from people in crazy places, from France, and parts of the Middle East. I've gotten messages from Canada, of course, like all over the country. It's really awesome to have somebody message you and be like, "Oh, I'm from the Netherlands. I saw your stuff. I think you're great." Like that's so inspiring to me.
Oh
And I
yeah,
want
no,
to be I want to be a champion that they can believe in because everyone sees how Grim is and Duhop is, and maybe they maybe they like that kind of person. Hey, I'm like him. I'm for the guy. There's people out there that are like me, and I represent them. I in a way I'm kind of the anti GTS guy in that I don't curse, I don't cheat, I don't use weapons. I'm a traditional quote unquote wrestler, very old school in my style, and
yes,
yet I
very.
made it to the
I've no.
top. And the fact that I did it my way means a lot. It means the
Yes,
absolute world to me, and I'm very proud to show this side of GTS. That GTS is for all people, all wrestlers. There's something for you at some point from the top of the card to the bottom for you at GTS Wrestling.
oh yeah, no, 100%. And I was gonna say that was one of the main things that made me catch an eye on you was because I kind of have a thing for technical wrestling. I personally have always had a high respect for it. And so when I saw, shoot, I'm trying to remember his name. It was you versus it's the guy that Grimm always calls Dr. Phil.
Oh, Tanner Wilson.
Yes, it was you versus Tanner Wilson. It was an Intercontinental Championship match, and just you guys were going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it reminded me almost of Joe versus Punk back when they were in Ring of Honor.
Yes.
Or not Joe versus Punk, Joe versus Bryan. That's what I meant. And honestly, I mean, that was like one of the main things that made me notice you before was your technical prowess. Now, I don't know if you remember this video, but a couple of years ago, I reacted to a video of yours on Instagram. It was a highlight video from a ladder match that you and Wade Kruger were performed your finishing move called the Bedtime Story. Now, I'm curious, how did you guys come up with this combination as well as what all started the Stepdad legacy?
So it's funny you bring up the ladder match. We've had a couple ladder matches. We've also had our own match that, at least the way we do it, it's never been done anywhere in wrestling. It's called Step Ladder Warfare. And
Okay.
we've done it 4 times in Connecticut promotions where it's usually a 4-way. I think it's always been a 4-way tag team match. Step ladders are legal. They're the only weapon that's legal are step ladders, and each team comes out with their own personal step ladder that they can use during the match. You can use any ladder, but you have your own in your hand right from the get-go. And that's where we get to do a lot of wacky stuff. It's exactly what the Stepdads are all about. It's very funny, but when things start to get crazy, you realize how dangerous a step ladder really is. Because it combines everything you love about a ladder with everything you love about a steel chair. So you can climb the step ladder, but you can also throw the step ladder. You can also elbow drop a guy into the step ladder, or on the step ladder, or through the step ladder. It gets wild. So I highly recommend anybody going to the Stepdads Wrestling YouTube channel. Look up any of the Step Ladder Warfares. I'm proud of all 4 of them. They are wild and willy, and I absolutely love them. That being said, we've gone through many different finishing moves over the years. I'm a big fan of having a finishing move you can do to anybody at any time, but it's also one of a kind. Our original finishing move was the Early Bird Special, which was a heart attack, but I would actually hit my flying knee, my bee's knee, to get the win, which we still use once in a blue moon. After that, we used what we called the Father's Day device, which was fantastic because the first 6 months at a company called True Wrestling, every match, every month, I would call for the Father's Day device, and we'd be cut off, and we'd never show what it is or how we did it. We'd always just stop before. And it got to the point where the crowd was like, what is the Father's Day device? What are we doing? What is it? And I'm like, well, we got to win. I don't know. We got to figure it out. And finally, our first big win at this company, True Wrestling, was a call for the Father's Day device. Wade put the guy on his shoulders in an electric chair position, and instead of doing the normal Road Warriors Doomsday Device clothesline, instead of doing that, I would leap at the guy and almost... Do you remember Dean Ambrose's elbow drop where he would ride the guy down?
Yes.
I would do a version of that, but it was more of like a belly to belly where I would jump at him and literally hug him like every great father should on the way down. And all 3 of us would hit the ring at the exact same time, and it sounds like a nuclear explosion went off every time. Always got a huge reaction. And we used that for quite a while. We put that on some really big guys. Really big guys took that move. Eventually, we wanted to do something extra special for a main event we had in Massachusetts, so we came up with the Parent Trap, which was a move where Wade would hold the guy kind of like a sidewalk slam. So he's holding him up. I would hit a flying knee, which would make the guy flip backwards onto Wade's shoulder. So now Wade's in like that Rikishi driver scenario, and you drop him down. Think of like a Rube Goldberg kind of machine.
Ow!
Very, very cool. Unfortunately, we can only do it on very small people. Very skinny, small guys. So that is a rarity, but when we use it, it always looks incredible and people flip out.
No, that
Now,
sounds brutal.
yes, I love that one. Anybody wants to look up the Parent Trap, I think there even is like shorts of it on YouTube because I'm very proud of inventing that move. I've never seen it before since. Um, Nowadays, post quarantine, we have a new move called the bedtime story, which Wade holds the guy in a German suplex position, and I use my singles finisher, the stepdad stunner, which is a step in stunner. I jump off the first rope through the ropes and hit that stunner, sending the guy forward. Does a pendulum kind of effect where he then flies backwards from the German suplex. That one we can literally hit on any wrestler we've ever met. It always gets a great reaction. It always looks fantastic. So that right now, that's our default finishing move. Will that change? I don't know. We every time we had a finisher, I was like, "This is it. This is the big one. This is what we're going to use the rest of our careers." And we just keep switching it and switching it and switching it, and it never feels wrong. So we're gonna keep using that for now. But it's given us many wins in our careers. It's going to give us many more. So I'm very excited for the future with that.
Oh yeah, no, it sounds like it. Honestly, your moveset as a whole sounds like it's pretty intricate.
Oh,
So, like you stated before, you have worked alongside Grimm for the last couple of years now, as well as a good portion of the New Jersey independent scene. What would you say makes GTS stand out from other promotions you have worked for?
oh boy, there's so many different things. First of all, most promotions I've worked for are monthly. They're monthly live events. I would say most of pro wrestling is still a live event business. Obviously, we're not talking about the TV companies, but pretty much everyone else is a live event first business. GTS actually kind of works like the TV companies. It's monetization first. It's video first, and that gives us such a different mindset for making these shows and telling these stories, and everything from the vlog style filming, because GTS is not filmed like a normal sports event or a wrestling show. GTS is in the eyes, essentially the eyes of Grimm or somebody next to Grimm. You are watching it as if you were a fan on the sidelines. You're seeing events happen as if you're just walking by during a big argument or a fight or whatever the case may be. Uh, that it's so unique to itself, this vlog style. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I really dig how unpredictable everything can be. How is on a weekly basis something new has to happen. It reminds me a lot of Memphis wrestling, if you're familiar. Memphis
Mm-hmm.
wrestling every Saturday for 90 minutes. They would give you this huge, unpredictable, like it's the original wrestling show that was like, we're not even going to tell you what's going to happen until it airs, which is very much like 2000's Raw and SmackDown. But way before that in the 70s, that was Memphis wrestling. And Memphis wrestling, you had to be on your toes, you had to be ready for anything, and that's how GTS works. You don't always know when you're on camera. You're practically walking around, holding your belt and watching the match and being a part of the show constantly throughout the entire filming of the event. Um, as somebody who did a lot of underground wrestling and things like that, having the wrestlers around the ring gives such a Fight Club vibe that I really enjoy, and I've enjoyed in many companies. CWA in Connecticut also did that, where the wrestlers would come out. They would actually introduce the wrestlers at the opening of the show, and so everyone would cheer for their favorites, and then the wrestlers would surround the ring and wait for them to be called on in the ring, and they would never leave ringside. And the crowd, it gave an extra atmosphere of how realistic this is going to be, how real this is, that these wrestlers are just going to go in and they're just going to perform right here and now. There's no pomp and circumstance.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was very, very cool. You know they're not sitting in the back waiting for their music to play. They're right there the entire 2 hour broadcast, or what for CWA at least. But GTS is very much the same way, and that allows these wrestlers to show who they like, who they don't like. If you're feuding with somebody in the ring, that's an extra element to tell your story that no other wrestling company would really do. Because most of the time you're wrestling a match, and maybe you're doing a promo, and you hope the fans see the match in the promo, but if they don't, you know, they're gonna miss it, and they're waiting for the next live event. With
Exactly.
GTS, GTS, everything's being filmed. They want you to see these people's reactions. They want you to see the stories, and they'll jam it down their throat if they have to at times.
Oh yeah.
But,
No, I completely understand what you mean
mhm,
by that.
mhm.
Now, outside of pro wrestling, you actually are a family man, currently engaged to be married.
Yes.
Now, in real life, do you plan on being a dad in the near future? Have you guys had the talk of starting your own family of your own?
We have had the talk, of course. We've had the talk. I think of it this way. I mean, I can barely like put my own shoes on in the morning. I don't know how I'm gonna put a little baby's shoes on. Uh, I'll say this: never say never. I'm really open to everything. I have a phenomenal partner. She is a wonderful woman, and I think she would make an absolutely fantastic mother. And think I could at least pretend to be a great dad. Does that make you a great dad if you can pretend to be one on TV? I don't know, but I think I think if the time comes, we definitely have the tools to do it. But I'm broke, man. I'm broke, and I can barely cook, and I don't even know where our animals are right now. Like I don't know what's going on. So we're gonna take it one day at a time. That's how I think of it. Let's get to the marriage. Let's get to the all that good stuff first. One day at
Do
a
you
time.
I was gonna say, do you guys have a date set?
We do. It's gonna be October 2026. It's quite a ways away, but the specific place we wanted, it's literally being put under construction for like 9 months this year. So we gotta wait till next year.
Uh,
Yeah, it's one of those things. But I'm telling you, the food's phenomenal. They make the food right there. Like, oh, dude, it's gonna be amazing. I cannot wait.
sounds like it's gonna be amazing.
Oh yeah,
So
oh yeah.
so in 2025, what would you say some of your goals are for the remainder of this year?
For me, it's just getting high profile bookings, man. Like, there's a lot of great companies out there that I still haven't wrestled for. I've wrestled for 42 different wrestling companies since I started in 2016. And
Wow.
there's still so many I want to get into. I mean, I'll throw names like Pro Wrestling Magic in New Jersey, Three Legacies Wrestling, which is run by, oh my goodness, oh man, I know I'm screwing up.
That's
Alberto
Jesus
Del
Rodriguez.
Rio's manager.
Jesus
His
Rodriguez, right?
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, he runs a fantastic show out there. I've met the gentleman. He's a phenomenal guy, and he's training great people out there. I would absolutely love to be a part of his shows. Some of his shows have had huge crowds. He does like these baseball stadium shows that are something like 6,000 fans. Phenomenal stuff on the independent scene that I think a lot of people don't
Wow.
know about. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that these certain companies, like his Three Legacies Wrestling, are getting huge crowds. Huge crowds. I want to be a part of that. That's what I want, and I want to take the stepdads there and make it happen. Northeast Wrestling. I don't know if you're familiar with Northeast Wrestling.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, Jerry Lawler was wrestling there for quite a long time. I think even post quarantine, he was still wrestling there for a while. If you ever want to see a Jerry Lawler versus Enzo Amore casket match, that match exists in Northeast Wrestling. You're welcome.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say Enzo Amore versus Jerry the King Lawler in a casket match?
Yes, I did. That exists, and it happened at Northeast Wrestling.
Well then, I'm probably gonna have to look that up later because now I'm actually kind of intrigued. Now here's the real. Okay, now I'm actually curious. Who won?
You know what? I can look it up for you. We'll get back to it. I'll look it up
Well,
for you.
yes, but now who would you say is probably one of your biggest inspirations in your entire wrestling career? I have a feeling of who you're gonna say, but I'll let you give the answer.
Oh man, you mean like a TV wrestler kind of thing?
I mean, TV wrestler, independent wrestler, the whole shebang. Out of all wrestlers that you have watched, who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
I feel like right now it's Ric Flair. But I'm also very much into Terry Funk. Terry Funk's my guy. Those classic '80s wrestlers. Terry Funk, even a little Ricky Steamboat, a little bit of Ricky Steamboat. Um, when I grew up, the person that made me want to be a wrestler, we probably wouldn't guess. The person that made me want to be a wrestler was Rob Van Dam in ECW.
Really?
Yes, and
You're
I
a
try to bump like him. You ever
oh,
see me
oh,
take a DDT or a pile driver? I take it like
yes.
Rob Van Dam.
Now that
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
about it, you do actually take it quite similar.
and that's not a coincidence, my friend. But
That is on purpose.
but yeah, I really think that even my promos, my matches are very much based on those '80s wrestling style, just with some extra, extra gusto.
Right. Right. No, of course. And of course, the most important question of the entire interview. It's 2 a.m. and you're at Denny's. What do the stepdads order?
Okay, I mean, obviously, I'm a pretty basic guy, man. I just want like, whatever the Grand Slam or the equivalent of it is at that time. Like, I'm a basic pancake or waffle. I do like a good waffle. I'm not gonna lie. But I gotta get that protein, man. Gotta get that protein. Every wrestler's gonna tell you that. Gotta get that protein in.
Oh yeah,
It's
no.
it's all right. So let me get on to this because I've hyped it behind the scenes before. Uh, True Wrestling. We have a big show. Um, we are supposed to have geez, I'm forgetting our former North American NXT North American champion. What was his name again?
Sean Spears.
Thank you. Sean Spears was supposed to be at True Wrestling, and we're very excited to have him and everything. Uh, I don't know if it was the day of the show or the day before. He suddenly can't make the show. Even though the show is called True Wrestling Perfect 10, he cannot make the show. And nobody knows why. But as the show is happening, somebody in the back runs up to us and he goes, "Oh, Sean Spears just hit Cody Rhodes in the head with a chair." Sean Spears couldn't make our indie booking because he was debuting for AEW that night. So,
Oh my god.
so instead, AEW offered to give us someone else as a replacement. Oh, I found it. So hold on, August 14th, 2021, Jerry Lawler defeated Enzo in a casket match at,
That
at
makes it even
WrestleFest
funnier.
25 in Poughkeepsie, New York.
That honestly makes it even funnier, the fact that Enzo lost.
So that was the semi-main. The main event, Sammy Guevara defeated Fuego del Sol.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that show was crazy.
Yeah, no, I could only imagine. So who ended up replacing Sean that night?
So none of us knew who was going to be his replacement until they got there. The main event match that he was going to be in was a tag team match, so you could. The storyline was this person was getting a friend from AEW, so really it could have been anybody from AEW, and we ended up getting Awesome Kong. So Awesome Kong was in this tag team match. Amazing Kong, if you remember her from the TNA days.
Right.
And this is at the tail end of her career. I'm going to look it up on Cage Match because this might have been her last match or one of her last matches. But she goes into this match, has the tag match. It's great. Finish everything up. And then, all right, let's go head out. And we usually just head out to Denny's and do our thing. Awesome Kong says, "Hey, I'll come with you." Yeah, this is Kong's. Kong retired 3 months later, I believe, after this. Something like that. But so it's like, "Oh, yeah, come on out with us. Go ahead, sure." We get there. We are, geez, I gotta say 25 people strong in this Denny's. We come into this Denny's. The people in the front are like obviously they're like just teenagers. They don't know what to do in this scenario. They're freaking out. They're pulling tables together because we don't want to just be sitting in like 10 booths. We got to have a big table. So they're pulling all these tables together, trying to set everything up, get all the chairs worked out and everything. We're all standing around just talking, and eventually they get all organized. We all sit down, and this Denny's. So this got to be like midnight almost. This Denny's might as well have been a Waffle House. I'm telling you, there was some scary situations going on in there because the fire escape, which was next to us. Everyone knows what a fire escape looks like. Imagine a fire escape inside the building, and it is barricaded with stacks of wooden chairs. We're talking 2-3 stacks of chairs all the way up past the door. And everyone sees that, and we just sit down and think, oh, so if there's a fire, we're all just dead, I guess. Like, what is going on here? We once had, just to give you a side, we once had a waiter come up and take all of our orders, and then halfway through delivering our orders, just left. And so I was waiting for my order for a good hour. Come to find out that she, in the middle of delivering these orders, took something. I don't know what. She took something, and somebody saw her taking something and told her to leave. They're like, you can't do that here. So she left. I don't know if she got fired or what. She left and didn't tell anybody else. So the other half of the table just got nothing for like an hour.
Oh my god.
And then we had to reorder stuff. That's the kind of Denny's we're dealing with here. So we already know that kind of situation could happen. So we're already a little nervous about whatever waiter we're going to get. Guy comes up. Big dude. Looks like a football player. Turns out he's a high school football player. He comes by and he's like, "Oh, you guys, what are you guys up to? Why is there so many of you?" And we're like, "Oh, we're wrestlers." And he goes, "Oh, you're wrestlers? That's so cool. I always wanted to be a wrestler." He didn't recognize us or anything. I guess he hadn't watched wrestling in a long time.
Right.
He's like, "Oh, that's so cool. I always wanted to be a wrestler." And our champion, our true wrestling champion, his name was Trajan Horn. He goes, "Well, if you were a wrestler, what would be your name?" And without any hesitation, he goes, "The Black Dolphin."
I'm sorry, the what?
The Black Dolphin.
Oh, okay.
That's the exact opinion we all had. Now, he was a black guy, but that didn't really explain anything. So we asked him, we're like, why are you the Black Dolphin, bro? And he goes, "Oh, well, when I'm on the gridiron, I slide right past the defensive line, and my coach says it's like a black dolphin swimming by." I was like, I don't know. You might need a new coach, man. So the whole time he's like, "Oh yeah, I'd be the Black Dolphin," and I'd take. And he starts like shooting promos, and he shoots a promo on Awesome Kong. He shoots a promo on all these different people. We're just having a great time. Awesome
Right.
Kong loves it. By the way, if you ever get a chance to meet her. I've met her twice. A fantastic human being, a very fun, down to earth person. I highly recommend it. She did not act like she was above anybody. She just wanted to hang out with us, and that was fantastic. Weirdly enough, Awesome Kong can do like a dolphin cry, like Flipper. So she started doing this dolphin cry as he's like doing this promo. He's talking about how he's gonna win all the titles and he's gonna beat everybody, and she's doing like a dolphin cry behind him. I wish that was on camera. It is not. I sure wish it was. But what is on camera somewhere is our champion. He finally called our champion. He said, "I can beat you in a second. I just run right through you. It'd be no problem." And he's giving this really hilarious promo. And Trajan goes, "You know what? I got my referee right here," because we literally just left the show. And the referee was literally still in his slacks and his referee shirt. And he's like, "Why don't we have a match right now?" And he looks around and he's like a kid in a candy store. "Oh, let's go. Let's do it, yeah." But he knew the deal. So somebody starts filming. And they move all these tables. They move all the tables. Like, our tables were still there, but they took like the circular ones and stuff. They moved them out of the way. And I don't know how we were just allowed to do this, but that's what happens when you're 30 wrestlers in the restaurant. They move all the tables and everything. They start filming. Trajan Horn's like, I'm the true wrestling champion. I've been the champion for over a year. I've defeated everyone from Shane Douglas to, this person to that person, that person. I'm the best. And then here comes, oh no, it's the Black Dolphin. And he runs up and spears him. Boom! Big spear. He takes a full bump right onto that day's floor. No hesitation. Boom! Right onto that floor. Black Dolphin gives him the cover. Our referee slides up and goes, oh, I don't know what to do. All right, count. 1, 2, 3. And he gets, and they hand him the belt. He literally had the belt in his bag. He hands him the belt. The guy says, I'm now the champion. I'm the official true wrestling champion. I'm the man. I'll defend this against anybody. There's a whole promo. And Trajan grabs the camera. He talks to the promoter. He's like, hey, Sean, I'm sorry, man. I let you down. I guess we're gonna have to bring in the Black Dolphin now. I don't know what you want to do with him, but he's the real champion now. So either you have me as your illegitimate champion, or I guess you're gonna have to hire the Black Dolphin. And of course, they immediately send that to Sean, and who just practically has an aneurysm. He obviously knows it's just playing around, but that was a joke we had for years. For years after that. And obviously we took the belt back, and we never saw the Black Dolphin again that day. But at the same time, a couple of months later, we're talking months later, I get a friend notification on my Facebook, my personal Facebook, and lo and behold, it's the Black Dolphin. And I added him immediately. And to this day, that was probably 2018, I want to say 2019. To this day, the Black Dolphin, wherever he lives, somewhere in Pennsylvania now, still likes my stepdad's videos and my posts and thumbs up all this stuff. And he's still out there, and he's still watching us. And we still talk about the true wrestling heavyweight champion, the Black Dolphin. And scene.
That is an insane story, honestly. Like, oh dear God, now I want to meet the Black Dolphin.
We should all meet the Black Dolphin eventually.
Yes, no, I mean, I'm planning on coming up to Jersey for SummerSlam. So was it a Denny's in Jersey?
Oh no, it was a Denny's, I believe, in Berwick, Pennsylvania.
Okay, I will try to find this Denny's on my drive up to New Jersey from Ohio, just so I could officially meet the Black Dolphin.
I will let him know you're coming.
But
you can wrestle him for the title, the legitimate true wrestling championship.
Right. But with all of that, that concludes our interview portion here. I really do appreciate it, Radley. Really do. If you would like to stay on for the rest of the episode, by all means, feel free to. And yeah. And with all that being said, we will be right back.
Get ready. Champions of the world! The greatest event in history. In 2026, we will bring the world together. 3 countries. 16 cities, 48 teams, 104 games, all of us, united as individuals, united as billions. So you and all of you, bring your game to the beautiful game. We are FIFA, we are football. New song, Somos, we are 26.
Some say Formula One isn't really a sport. What sport has stadiums that span seas? Or reveled in driving rain, blazing sun, and blackest night? What sport makes even Vegas stop and stare? Sure, we have passing and curveballs and even the odd dive. But for us, the back of the net is no place to be. Breakpoint is rarely an advantage, and halftime, we do it in no time. Our kit saves lives. Our goals change futures. Our slam dunks echo around the world. And our big game We do it 23 times a year. This is no ordinary sport. This is Formula One.
And just like that, we are back. Pretty crazy episode so far, huh, guys?
Sure has.
Crazy but good.
Yeah, no, honestly, Radley, it really has been very appreciative having you on today. I really do appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun so far. Genuinely has been. Now,
mine, guys.
oh, thank you. And now we move into our open discussion topic for today. This is something I've been given permission to go off about, although I was told not to specify him by name. What is up with certain people in the IWC community just pushing out whatever story they want to try and get clicks? Example, this week, some retard in the IWC thought it was a good idea to say that Britt Baker is leaving AEW to start an OnlyFans account. Here's my argument here. First off, she's a doctor, like a legit doctor, PhD and all. She runs her own dental practice in Winter Park, Florida. That last time I checked, it's actually doing quite well. She's acting more frequently than she ever has been. So here's my question to you, dunce. Why in the fuck would she need to start an OnlyFans account?
She's already making enough money as it is as a dentist.
Look, I get it. You want to see the butt. You want to probably try to touch the butt, but it's not going to happen. The last person who I see ever starting an OnlyFans account is Britt Baker, and that's honestly just because of her background.
I mean, personally, the last person I ever want to see have an OnlyFans is Gilbert, but that's just me.
Well, I mean, you've been forced to see Grimm's OnlyFans, so.
I'm the champion of GTS wrestling and nothing else.
I am the Let me guess, wrong platform.
Yes.
No, like seriously though, like some of y'all really just need to go out and touch grass, and just because I feel like saying it again, fuck Dave Meltzer.
And Vince Russo.
Yes, and Vince Russo. Fuck Vince Russo. Fucking cancer of professional wrestling. Now, to end off our episode for today, we are going to be hopping into the Indieverse, which to top things off, AJ Francis has captured gold as he is the new Reality of Wrestling television champion. I'm actually kind of surprised he has a title. Ooh! Am I wrong for saying that?
I mean, he
This
was
is
a
like his
digital
second
media
title ever.
Yeah, he was a digital media champion.
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot he was the digital media champion. I completely forgot he held that belt. Oopsies.
I mean, that just shows how irrelevant he is, to be honest.
Yes. And then also last weekend we did see GCW No Compadre, which we did see Violence is Forever become the two-time GCW World Tag Team Champions after defeating Cole Radrick and Alec Price, which, let's be honest here, they jumped them at the beginning of the match and gave them a head start. Now, there was someone on this card that, honestly, I would really like to see you have a match with against Radley. Dan the Dad. Have you heard of him?
I love me some Dan the Dad. Do you want me to tell you the Dan the Dad story?
You have a Dan the Dad story. Yes, tell me Dan the Dad story.
All right, so this is rumor and innuendo, okay? So
okay,
take what I say as you will. I believe it was 2021. Once again, it was for True Wrestling. You see a lot of the stories involve True Wrestling. We had All Ego Ethan Page in the main event that night. Ethan Page, awesome guy to talk to. Love talking to him. Ethan Page is the man, right? The entire day we're talking to him because my tag partner actually saw him in Chikara wrestle the Young Lions Cup back in the day. And he had a photo, the one existing photo of Ethan Page. He's the one that took that photo and posted it on like MySpace at the time. So Ethan Page literally says, every day I wake up, I see a photo above my bed, like on the top of the bed, that has some random fan in it, and that's you. So he literally sees my tag partner's face every time he wakes up. For years now. That's crazy enough. So we strike up a conversation. He's like, "Oh, what are you guys all about? What's your deal?" And I'm like, "Oh, we're the stepdads. You know, we spank people and we do all about parental guidance. And I'm the rad dad and this Papa Bear." And he loves it. He's like, "Oh, it's hilarious. That's so funny. I love that." Blah blah blah. Talking forever. He goes, "All right, I'll see you guys later. All right, bye." He leaves. Now he had a vlog back then. This is around, I want to say, October. In the vlog, about, I want to say 3 weeks later, a new character debuts on the vlog named Dan the Dad. And Dan the Dad then went on to do more vlogs and eventually started wrestling as Dan the Dad and on and on and on and on and on. So I'm not saying anything, but it kind of feels pretty suspicious.
That seems like very suspicious timing.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally like 3 weeks apart, and they both involve Ethan Page. Now, that being said, I love Dan the Dad. You know, there's nothing, I'm not saying anything disparaging at all, because I think Dan the Dad would make a phenomenal trios with us.
Oh, yeah. I was even going to say, maybe even almost a battle of the dads.
Absolutely. And the thing that I like about Dan the Dad is a wrestler wrestling like a dad, where the stepdads, I always like to think of us as the dads being wrestlers, as if like it was an episode of Full House and Danny Tanner was wrestling for his family that night. That's kind of how I see the stepdads. So we don't always dress up like dads when we wrestle. We wrestle as if we are dads wrestling. Yeah, that's the difference, and it makes for two very exciting types of this character development we have.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Now, also last weekend we did see GCW America's Most Wanted. We saw quite a few matches on that card, including a JCW heavyweight title match where Willie Mack faced off against Caleb Connolly in a successful defense. We also saw Too Tough Tony and Mickey Knuckles take out the Rejects, John Wayne Murdoch and Reed Bentley in the main event. Overall, it was a really good show. Now, this weekend, alongside AEW Dynasty, we do have Future Stars of Wrestling Ground Zero happening this Friday. Yes, I know that it's happening the day after this is being released. Bite me! In that show, we will see the Nevada State Championship be defended as Matt Vandegrift will defend against Duke Lawrence. In the Tag Team Championship match, we will see Makeshift Chemistry defend against Damian Desire and Bryce Saturn. In a No Limits Championship match, we will see Dante King versus Nino Black. And then in a number one contenders match for the FSW Women's title, we will see Maserati versus Brittany Brooks. Then in a singles match, we'll see JKM versus Gregory Sharp. Also appearing that night will be heavyweight champion Danny Limelight, as well as women's champion Gypsy Mack, as well as WWE ID prospect Ice Williams, plus many more. Also this weekend, we will also see GCW, the Philly special, where Effie will defend the GCW world title against Tony Deppen. Marcus Mathers will be facing off against Jonathan Gresham in a must-see match, and more matches shall be announced. Honestly, it's going to be a very fun weekend of wrestling overall, but that's not all, as Irving, you got a little bit more to talk about.
Yeah, we do. So, man, I don't even know if I can keep up with AEW with all these events that they got coming up. But anyways, I'm going to at least cover the most recent ones. AEW presents We Wear the Crown at Space Coast Convention Center May 9th. So far, Ryzen defends the world title against Bubba Thunder. David Richards comes out of retirement for this show. Trey Miguel will be in action. Carolina Cruz will be in action, and more to come in the coming weeks. So be on the lookout for that. You can find their Facebook page, Atomic Legacy Wrestling, or you can just follow Alex Red on Facebook. So, and then also the big show for Atomic Legacy Wrestling, Star Spangled Slammer number 9 at the historic Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida, former home of WCW Bash at the Beach. This is happening July 27th. So far, Matt Cardona, Kenta, Vic Scroll, formerly known as Alicia Fox, Odyssey, Mr. Anderson, Nick Nemeth, Matt Manfulton, Ryzen, Shannon Moore, Jesse Neal, Jamie Stanley, Renee Michelle, Jason Dugan, Marquise Mills, Axe Clover, Bobby Fish, Simbo D, Gangrel, Bubba Thunder, El Ridiculoso, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP have been announced, and I think there's even more to be announced soon. So, and then also, big announcement. I said it last time, and I'm gonna say it again this time. Do not buy from StubHub. They're a bunch of scalpers. They took a shitload of front row tickets. So buy them from Ticketmaster. Do not buy them from StubHub. If you want to buy them the day of from StubHub, I'm pretty sure it'll drop because they'll be, trying to get some of their money back. But do not buy them this early. Buy them off of Ticketmaster. So other than that, that's it.
Well, with all that being said, guys, that concludes episode 192. If you have not already, make sure you're following us on all social media platforms. If you're on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, or YouTube at Respect the Combat. If you're on Facebook at RTC Pod. If you're on X at RTC Podcast 1. Also, make sure to subscribe to our website, respectthecombat.com. Keep up with all the latest news, all the latest episodes. Mr. Radley Belmont, sir, it truly has been a pleasure having you on here today. It has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for taking the time to hop on here. Are there any upcoming shows you have coming up that you would like to plug?
Oh my goodness, I do. I do have some shows. First of all, it's an absolute pleasure to be here with you guys. I love talking wrestling, obviously. And I think we had some really good conversation here, so this is fantastic. April 5th, I mean, that's going to be the day this comes out, right? I will be wrestling for Matt Pro Wrestling. Matt Pro Wrestling Rain Dance, look it up. That show is going to be crazy because Matt Pro Wrestling is crowning their first grand champion and their first tag team champions in 2 separate tournaments. And my goal there is to be the man that wrestles in both tournaments simultaneously and wins both championships. That's my goal there. They call me the Iron Man of Matt Pro. There was even a write-up about it today on the Matt Pro website, but I'm currently in both the Grand Championship tournament. I'm in the semifinals and in the tag team tournament in the semifinals, and I'll be wrestling Troy Locke in one. I'll be wrestling 2 other tag teams in a triple threat match. Those are both going to happen the same night. If you're not familiar with Troy Locke, he's the former Pro Wrestling Magic World Junior Heavyweight Champion, and I say world because the title actually has been defended overseas and across the country in multiple countries. The tag teams, I believe, is M Squared Live and the Frat Party, if you've ever heard of them. They are both great tag teams that we've never wrestled before. So I'm talking about 2 first-time ever matches, and that's just my matches on the card for that show. I'm very excited about those. We'll also be teaming, the Stepdads, teaming and debuting for IWA Vintage here in New Jersey. That's a deathmatch wrestling company. That being said, I will not be participating in the deathmatch part of the show. I'll be participating in the tag team match. I'm going to have a tornado tag team match with a tag team called Controlled Chaos, who currently are the Monster Factory Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions, and that will also be a first-time ever match. That will be April 11th. April 13th,
funny enough, we'll actually have Jaden on here next month. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, please. I definitely hype it up because I'm very excited about that. That is a tag team I've been wanting to wrestle for a little while now. And now they got the Monster Factory titles. I'm very excited to see what they got because the one and only time we ever wrestled at the Monster Factory, we main evented that show. So that Monster Factory is a place in my heart because of how awesome that was.
Right.
April 13th, we're going to be wrestling for a brand new company in Lancaster, Pennsylvania called Wrestle Party 360. It's going to be really awesome. It's run by Tim Donst. It's I wouldn't say it's an offshoot of Chikara. Don't quote me on that. I'm not saying that, but it's going to have a vibe of a lot of fun. And it's going to have a lot of people from the lineage of Chikara. That's probably the most famous place that they're from. everyone from Ultramantis Black to Drew Gulak, and on and on and on down the card. It's going to be phenomenal. We're there to chaperone the party. And if we have to get into the ring and deal some damage out, show some parental guidance, we will. You're going to have to tune in to see exactly what happens with the stepdads on that night. But I guarantee you it's going to be a phenomenal show. That card is stacked for Wrestle Party 360. And finally, I can't give you an exact date, but somewhere in mid-April, maybe the same day WrestleMania comes out, it's Grimomania. And I will be defending the most prestigious prize in YouTube wrestling history as the most successful non-Hitchens YouTube champion of the decade of the 2020s. I will be defending the legendary YouTube championship against Hop, probably the most decorated wrestler in all of GTS, and Grim, who there would not be a GTS without. So you're looking at the three pillars of the YouTube Championship, going for the YouTube Championship in the main event. It does not get bigger than that in GTS. So there's my lineup right now. There's definitely more to come. If you want to see what else the Stepdads and the Rad Dad are doing, just look up at Stepdads Wrestling, all one word. I am not liable if you type in Stepdads and a space and wrestling. I'm sorry, I'm not liable for that. But looking up at Stepdads Wrestling or at Stepdads Wrestle, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Pro Wrestling Tees / Stepdads. You'll find our new t-shirts there. We are all over the place. You can find the Stepdads and Stepdads Wrestling very easily. So tune in, see what we bring in to the world of pro wrestling.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And like I said, thank you so much for taking the time to hop on here today. Make sure you all tune in next week, as next week we have the World Wrestling Network ring announcer for all shows, whether it's FIP, Shine, WWN Proving Ground, Mr. Michael James. He shall be stopping by the podcast next week. And from us to you all, thank you and have a good night.